Hi, what's up everyone? April here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how we can make the emails that we send through Power Automate look better. So if you're tired of boring and bland looking emails, this is the video for you. I'm going to show how we can inject some HTML and CSS and even images and tabular data that's styled beautifully. I'll show you how it's all done right after this. Let's start with the process that I'm trying to automate here. I have a Canvas app where I collect nominations. So it's just a nice employee recognition system. I can put in someone's email, a reason for nomination, and then that gets added inside of a Dataverse table. So now if I look at my Thanks a Latte table in Dataverse, we see that entry here. Now the flow that I want to show you that goes along with this is to send out quarterly notifications that summarize everyone that's been nominated for an award. And with that, I'm going to be showing tabular data. So I want to submit a few of these nominations so that we have at least more than one populated. So I'll submit this one for Jamie, so I at least have 2 in there. Now let's look at the flow. So if I go into my flows here in Power Automate, you see I have this flow called Thanks a Latte Quarterly Emails. So again, the goal is this is something that I could kick off manually once a quarter, and I wanted to be able to go out, look at my Dataverse table, and get all the nominations for that quarter and summarize them in an email that I send to everyone in the company. So to do this, I created what's called an instant flow. And these instant flows are manually triggered by me clicking a button. And with these, I can define some input parameters that I can pass in to the subsequent actions in the flow. So in this case, I want to pass in an input where I define what quarter I want to get the nominations for and the subject of the email, because that will change per quarter. Now, the main outcome of all this is an email that's sent to the entire company. So we'll get to the ins and outs of styling that email here in a second. First, I'm going to show how we can search Dataverse, get a list of records that match the quarter that I input in, and then output that into a table, because we're going to use that in our email. Now that I have my trigger, I'm going to add an action called List Rows for Dataverse. And to get this, I just clicked the plus icon, went to add an action, and I selected Dataverse from the options here of connectors. And the action that I want is this List Rows. We're going to point List Rows to the table in Dataverse that I want to return records to, which is what we do here in this first dropdown. And you see there's a few different properties that we can configure. The 2 ones that I need to do to be able to filter this list correctly is first fill in this filter rows. So I want to filter the rows where the quarter contains the quarter that I pass in. So the field name that this corresponds to in Dataverse is nomination quarter. So I want to say when that field, nomination quarter, equals, and in single quotes, and that's very important to have the equal value in single quotes, I'm going to use my dynamic content and I'll pass in this quarter input. So that'll filter it based off of the input that I put in. And then finally, I want to do some sorting so that my tabular data in the email is sorted correctly, and I want to sort by their first name. So I'm pulling in the nominee name field here in Dataverse to do that. And pay attention to the format of the field names here. If we jump over to our table in Dataverse and look at the columns, I'm going to show you where I'm getting these field names for that we want to use in our filter and sort conditions. Rather than referencing the display name like you see here, we want to reference this name field instead, which is like an internal name for the field. So that's what I'm using in the filter and sort in Power Automate. And if we look at the data, the quarter that I'm going to be comparing on is done here on this field, nomination quarter. And that's being pulled in dynamically from my Canvas application. I'm doing some logic in the Canvas app that's based off of the date that they submitted it to get the current quarter. So this is the value that I'm going to want to pass into my manually triggered flow when we're ready to test. Now, so far we have an action to return the list of rows matching the current quarter that we inputted. Now we need to take that list and convert it into a table so that we can pass that table into our email. And that's what we're doing here with this action below. Now, the action that we're going to need, if we go back to add an action, if you just search for table, you see with the data operation connector, there's a create HTML table action. That's the one we want. And as you'll see, what this allows us to do is pass in an array that we want to create a table from. So in the action above in list rows, that automatically creates an array or a list of items for me. So I can simply point this in the from field to the value or the list of items that that action returned. And then I can either map columns that I want to display like you see that I'm doing here, or I could choose automatic and have it just pull in all of the columns. Now, typically, you're probably not going to want to do this for many reasons. A, there's lots of internal fields inside of Dataverse in this case in particular that you probably don't care about and don't want. And then also you might want to change the name of the column headers. So you're probably going to choose custom a majority of the time and manually define the individual columns that you want to show in your table, which is what I did here. So I only want to show 3 of the columns from Dataverse, and that's the winner's name, who nominated them, and the reason for nomination. So I'm mapping in these individual columns with headers and then their corresponding values. And for the corresponding values, I'm just using the dynamic content and searching for the appropriate field here. So now we have our table of data. And before I dive into how we format this in Power Automate, let's take a look at what we're trying to make the email look like. So here's an example of the email that we're trying to replicate here. As you can see, we have this nice image coming through, we have a header, and we have the tabular data below that's formatted where the header is in blue and the items below are in this gray color. So with this in mind is what we're trying to replicate. Let's see how to make this happen in Power Automate. When we use this create an HTML table action, it doesn't apply any styling to the HTML table, so it's kind of almost unusable as it is out of the box. So what we're going to need to do is figure out how we want that to be styled. So it's helpful if you know some HTML and CSS here. If you don't, there's some free editors out there that will actually produce some HTML and CSS for you. And I'll put some links to those tools in the video description. But how we want to add in this HTML and CSS to style the table is we want to go back and add an action after our table action and search for compose. We want to use this data operations compose action. Now this allows us to basically store a local variable, some data inside of the flow that we'll use later on. And it just gives us an input field where we can paste some text. And in here, this is where I'm going to put my CSS. So you see I'm using a style tag. I have for the table, I want these particular styles. That's the background color I want, the borders and the width and all that. And I have some styles for the table headers and the table rows. So this is just standard CSS. And I can export this flow and share it on my GitHub so that you can download it if you want to copy some of these styles. So now that we have pasted our CSS for how we want the table to be formatted in this compose action, we can use that later on in our send an email. Now the only other thing that I want to do here before I send the email is I do want to embed an image in the header, as you saw, the image of the coffee cup. Now to do this, the easiest way is to convert whatever image you want to use into what's called base 64 format. And there's all kinds of tools online for this as well. If you just search for image to base 64 converter, you'll see different converters out there to take your, say, PNG or JPEG images and convert those to base 64. And what that does is it gives you, as you're seeing that I have here, this long kind of block of string that you can then paste into either our compose or an initialized variable action like you see here of type string, paste in that long block of base 64 text, and then now we can use it freely inside of our send an email action. Okay, now that we have that, I'm going to add in the Outlook send an email action, which I already have here, and the rest is relatively straightforward. Now if we add in another send an email action, you'll see that by default it looks like this. We get this rich text editor where we can manually add some styling, like making text bold. So if I type hello, I could change the font maybe to bigger and bold and all that with the built-in rich text editor. But if I really want to customize it, you'll notice an option here in the top right-hand corner. And this will allow me to go into a code view so that I can add in my own HTML and customize this email as much as I want. So that's what you'll notice that I did here in the send an email action below, is I went straight to that code view so that I can put in all of my HTML. The HTML for the text is very simple. I'm just using some p tags, but let's scroll down in this block of HTML and get to where we're doing the header and the table styling. So for that header, I'm actually using a table above the table that we produce of the contents of who was nominated. So I have a table here, I'm just passing in some text, and in this text block here, you'll see below on the table, so I have a column to the left. So if we reference that email one more time, you see that I have some text to the left that says fourth coffee, thanks a latte, and then on the right, I have the image. So that's where I'm using the table. And for that right column, what I'm doing is I'm passing in that var mug image variable, which is the base 64 version of my mug image, so that it will show there in the header of that email. And then finally, now I need to pass in the tabular data of who was nominated. So after that initial top table ends, that's where I'm going to pull in those compose actions, the two that we defined above. The one where it's the HTML table of the items, and then the other one where we define CSS. So to style the table, I'm going to first add in the CSS block. So I'm going to add in the output CSS. And then right after that, I'm going to put the output of the HTML table. So that will force the styles to go and apply to the table that's after it. And it's really as simple as that to apply styling to the HTML tables that you produce through that action. Now this is ready to go. So now if we test this out, we can put in the quarter that we want to get the nominations for. I can put in a subject and run the flow. So you can see everything succeeded here. So if I go back to my email, there is my header with the image pulled in, and here are the 2 nominations that I've submitted so far that fall into that quarter with all of my styling applied. I hope you found this helpful, and if you did, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And if you want to see more of my Power Automate videos, check out this video or this Power Automate playlist. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.